What's good with it, Black Goose TV family, man? Double salute as always. It's your boy Flu. I'm back in the building. Another day, another way, and you already know I'm here to stay, man. You know what we talking about? We talking boxing. You feel me? We keeping it right. We keeping it light, and of course, if your girl around, make sure she keeping it tight. Look, much love to the people, man. I'm staying solid. I'm staying strong. Happy Friday to everybody up out there. You feel me? Hopefully, y'all Friday been cool, calm, and collect. And if it hasn't been, hopefully it ends up getting there. Now, I know there's not too much of the Friday left, but either way, as long as there is room to improve, there's hope. You feel me? But once again, y'all, double salute. We here. Y'all already know what we're going to be talking about, man. We're going to be talking about the weigh-ins, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. We're a day away from one of the biggest fights in boxing in the last decade. Don't let me repeat myself, but if I got to, I will. Y'all already know what it is, man. So I can't wait to dive in and look at all the reactions when it comes to the weigh-ins. Look at all the people talking, the interviews. Y'all see down below. We got some very interesting things that we're going to be covering when it comes to the weigh-ins, particularly in the South. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into a lot more of that too, a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Things that's not even in the title. We're gonna be covering, reacting to, talking about. So tonight, hey man, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be a good time, man. Happy Friday once again to everybody out there. So if you're not out and about, you know what I'm saying? If you're not out doing it up, living it up, you know what I'm saying? Mingling with the people, you in the crib, you feel me? You chilling, you like, man, I had a long week. I need something to watch. I'm only focused on Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. Hop up in here, man, because we finna have a good time tonight. You already know what it is, man. Hey, it's Friday. So once again, I just want to say respect to the people. If you come up in here, man, show some love, man. Hit the like button down below. You feel me? If you're not part of the family, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? If you are part of the family already and you do end up coming into this live, hey, don't be scared to join. You feel me? And what I mean by that is, you know what I'm saying? Say something. You know what I'm saying? You got an opinion, drop it in the comments. And then, of course, man, it's Friday night. So, you know, we finna be lit. So, you know, I ain't got no problem dropping the link. Y'all can come up in here and y'all can talk y'all shit if you want to. You feel me? That's totally up to you. But either way it goes, just show your boy some love in any type of way. Help me get back into the algorithm because you know your boy been gone for too long and I'm completely out of the algorithm. That's a fact. So help me get back into it. But nonetheless, once again, double salute. Much love to the people. Happy Friday to everybody up out here. We're going to be talking all Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. We got a whole bunch of reactions coming from different various fighters that was at the weigh-ins. Some of the fighters, obviously, you can see listed below. Thurman is one of them. We're going to be taking a look at what he had to say and what his prediction of the fight is, if he even gives his prediction, or just what he had to say about the fight in totality. Because, you know, he's foaming at the mouth. He's probably hoping that he can get either the winner or the loser of either one. You know what I'm saying? Stephen A. Smith has something to say. We're going to be taking a look at that. Who else did I see has something to say? Frank Martin has something to say. We're going to be taking a look at that. As y'all see, too, I changed the title last minute because this just got, well, I don't know if it just got uploaded, but, you know what I'm saying, I didn't really see it before. But apparently, Jermell Charlo and Caleb Plant got into it at the weigh-in, and somebody punched Jermell Charlo. I don't know if it was Caleb Plant or somebody else, but we're going to get into that. We got a whole lot of stuff we're going to be covering and reacting to tonight. I can't wait. This should be a good live. Anybody who comes up in here, like I said, let's make it an even better live. And y'all go ahead and join in by dropping comments. And then, you know what I'm saying, if y'all feeling like it, I can drop that link and y'all can join. I never had a problem with it. You know how, you know, what type of time I'm on, man. So with that being said and everything being set up, let's go ahead and start this off real quick. Hopefully y'all had a good day. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to your Friday, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my Friday before we get into all the goodness of boxing, man. My Friday, like, this is one thing that I do really love and I miss about going live, especially on a consistent basis, is the ups and downs of life, man. They just, you know what I'm saying, they right there in front of you. You can't avoid it. Like, it's recorded. It's right there on the main stage. And it's like, it's crazy how my week went from, like, you know, solid, not really worrying about nothing. Then I had shit going on with my job. I was like, this got me stressed. And I had some other stuff happening. Yesterday, I was kind of speaking about briefly, had me stressed. But today, man, literally, man, like, I'm like, today was such a great day. A lot of the things I was stressing about with my job, man, y'all don't even know, man. Today was a blessing. So, you know what I'm saying? I got no complaints. This Friday has been one of the better Fridays I've had in a long time. So My week literally was like, dude, and Friday, bow. So this is the way I want it to be, especially going into such an epic fight weekend. As you already know, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, but we also got that amazing UFC card. So remember, I'm going Fluence Lounge for that tomorrow. That means I'm going to be going live for the whole entire UFC card. Well, I won't say the whole entire UFC card, but I'll say probably about 60% of the UFC card, and that's obviously going to bleed over into the Terence Crawford, Errol Spence card. So make sure y'all join me for that tomorrow. It's gonna be Fluence Lounge 99. It won't be 100 just yet, but it's gonna be 99. So make sure y'all join me for that. But yeah, my Friday, it was a good Friday, man. I haven't had this good of a Friday or this good of a day period in a minute, man. Everything just kind of aligned together. So I'm hoping y'all can go ahead and catch some of that energy, that good energy that I got from my day to day. If y'all wasn't having the best day, hopefully that could pass over to y'all and it can help y'all out a little bit. So that's how my Friday was. I'm not gonna, harp too much on it because I already know why y'all up in here. What we finna be on. We talking all Terence Crawford, all Errol Spence. We gonna be all we gonna be on here all day. We gonna have a lot of fun. You feel me? So make sure y'all say what y'all gotta say, man. Don't be scared to say it. So all right, hold up, little break. With that being said, let's get into these reaction videos. Um, Obviously, as always, I have not watched any of them. I have not watched the weigh-ins. I have not watched anybody like Stephen A. Smith. I see over here he did a little breakdown. Antonio Tarver did a little breakdown. Badu Jack, he did a little breakdown. Darrell, he did a breakdown. Keith Thurman, Derek James has something to say. So I haven't watched any of these, obviously, because saving it for the live. I want to talk to the people about it, do it in real time. So we're gonna get into we're gonna try and get into all these if we can. Obviously, we're just gonna let the live move and groove how it wants to. You know what I'm saying? Nothing has to be, set in stone as far as, what we watching, what we listening to. But as always, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna check some of these out. I see a Keith Thurman breakdown, Spence versus Crawford. That's 11 minutes, though. I don't like how long that is, but let's go. Let's get into our first reaction video. And I actually wanted to be Calvin Ford, Gervonta Davis's trainer. Let's listen to what Calvin Ford has said. Excuse me. My bad, y'all. Excuse me again. Allergies, man. But let's see what Calvin Ford had to say. Let's go.
What you take away from the win, looking at both sides, your kind of demeanor today?
Oh, man, they both ready, man. They both ready. Y'all, the fans excited. You know what I'm saying? The bookies can't even get it right. It's a 50-50.
Last question. Start tanking. About today.
Oh, man, I love it, man. I can't believe it. I'm glad I was a fan today to watch it, man. What's up, baby? My man. I'm out of here.
Come on, thank you. Get you in the final round, Calvin. Do you think you go all 12 rounds?
Yes. Somebody might get dropped, though.
Possibility that both guys go down.
I don't know. I just put it out there. I said it first. Yeah.
You also called the fight first.
Yes, I did.
When there was a lot of haze about the fight.
I told you the fight was going to happen. Reason why? Because they wasn't figuring was the money there. You know what I'm saying? Tank fight was to show the money was there. Before.
No more questions, guys. Gotta get him out of here. You gotta be safe.
Hey, I won't even cap. It's really hard to go against anything Calvin Ford says, man. Like, I was saying maybe goes eighth, maybe goes ninth round. You know what I'm saying? But when Calvin Ford says something, he's such a genuine dude, man, and he really knows the boxing game. When he says it's gonna go all 12 rounds, but someone's gonna get dropped, something deep down in me makes me be like, that's probably how the fight's gonna go. I'm gonna stand by what my prediction is, you know what I'm saying? But for some reason, I feel like of all the predictions, and we haven't went through them all. Obviously, I got to get through Antonio Tarver's prediction. I got to get through Stephen A. Smith's prediction. I got to see what Keith Thurman got to say. I got to go through all these. But right now, for some reason, I feel like if there's anybody that, like, if I had to bet and put my money on how the fight's gonna go, I'm listening to Calvin Ford and what he has to say, because I also like what the reporter threw in too. He was like, you was the first one to say that this fight was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And he was just so calm, smooth about it. Like, yes, we had to show that the money was there. The money there. The money's there. Gervonta Davis showed that. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna be extra with you. Now, this is obviously, y'all know how I get, man. And man, I said this yesterday. Like I won't even lie. I was watching just a little bit of the stream yesterday, just to kind of see how I was coming off type. Because y'all know I'm getting back in the groove of things, getting back in the swing of things. I want to make sure, you know what I'm saying, y'all listen to this when you're at work. If you listen to this, you know, currently live, whatever the case may be afterwards, I want to make sure y'all enjoying the stream in its entirety. You feel me? But I do want to say this. Like yesterday, I said it right off the bat. Like I'm hyped. Like after watching the two videos of Derek James and Bo Mack going back and forth at each other, I was like, man, I'm finally hyped, right? It took me all the way till Thursday, but I'm like, I'm hyped. It's fight week. I'm up. Like just like I can't wait. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna go up. This is gonna be such like I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm literally foaming at the mouth for this fight to happen, which a lot of people probably already was as soon as it was announced. I wasn't that way. It took me all the way till yesterday. So me now, and you know how I can be, like me hearing this is the first video or prediction of today, you know what I'm saying, a reaction to the weigh-ins, and it's Calvin Ford. It's like I got so much respect for him. That's why I picked his video first. I was like, let me see what Calvin got to say, because I got nothing but mad respect for him. Excuse me, legend in the sport, all that. So yeah, if I were to put money down on how, you know what I'm saying, the fight was gonna go, I'd probably go with what he just said. You know what I'm saying? Now let's see if I'm a wishy-washy type. You feel me? Throw me in the dry, throw me in the washer, and all of a sudden I change, I shrink, whatever the case may be. Let's see if I change up listening to some of these other predictions. You feel me? So let's go ahead and go on to the next prediction for the fight. Who do I want to listen to? Antonio Tarver, 11 minutes. I don't want to hear all that. You hear me? I'm not even trying to be extra, even though we got nothing but time. Let's go to Anthony Durrell. Let's see what Anthony Durrell has to say. What he thinks about the weigh-ins. I'm interested. Let's go.
Jermell, you had to finish at the press conference, at the weigh-in of Crawford and Spence. Sorry, I'm a little excited, right? I'm sure you can feel it in the air. Just everybody's excited for this fight. Overall thoughts on this fight and the weigh-in. What do you expect come tomorrow night here?
I look like Spence was a bigger guy, but I think they both weighed in at the same thing. You know, he was a couple ounces lighter, Terence Crawford, but that doesn't matter. It all depends on what you do in this next 24 hours. And get in the ring tomorrow night, but it's going to be a hell of a fight regardless, man. These are two warriors, two champions, and we're going to see, come to tomorrow.
Fighter, like you said, with a high experience, been in there with high caliber fighters. There's two questions, a couple questions I've always asked everybody about this fight. Spence is coming off an 18-month layoff. Crawford's maybe around 6 to 8 months, and do you think who has the advantage more on that since the layoff?
I mean, Crawford did fight, but I think Spence, he did it before. He came back and fought Ugas and looked good doing it. It was probably a couple rounds ring rust, but you couldn't really tell. He came out and did what he was supposed to do and took another belt. So it'd be a good fight. I don't think that has a issue. You don't want to put no excuses for any guy. I think they'll want it that way. They want to go in there full 100% and fight.
What about the size of Spence? We just saw right now the weigh-in. Spence is the bigger guy. Everybody's been telling me that Crawford has a reach, but do you think that the size of Spence is a key factor coming in tomorrow night?
We'll see. We'll see. I think Crawford spar guys that are bigger. I think Spence spar guys that are bigger. It's just we'll see. Tomorrow night. I can't say here and there. You know what I'm saying? It is. These are two champions, man. These are two of the best in the world. Two of the pound for pound best, man. So we'll see tomorrow night.
I know they just asked you, right when you finish your weigh-in interview, but get you gather your thoughts on that fight, Canelo and Charlo. I think it'll be
a good fight. I think it'll be a better fight than a lot of people. I'm going with Charlo for sure, all day, every day.
Of course you are. That's interesting. He was quick to, and I'm not mad at it. Y'all know I'm a Jermell Charlo fan, but I was like, he was quick to pick Jermell Charlo, but I was like, you ain't give us no pick when it came to the Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, Calvin Ford didn't either, but in his short amount of time, Calvin Ford, it's like he didn't need to pick anybody. He didn't need to say who he was going to rock with or who was going to win the fight. Just the way he was like, this is how it's going to go. It was like, okay, that's a beautiful thing. Darrell, it just seemed like he was kind of playing both sides. He was playing, he was kind of straddling the fence a little bit, which I'm not mad at because he obviously he has ties to PBC, but it seemed like there's a lot of respect for Terence Crawford there. But I haven't watched the weigh-ins. We're gonna watch the weigh-ins a little bit later, but apparently they're saying Errol Spence was looking a little bit bigger than Terence Crawford, which is expected. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna give y'all my own opinion on that. You know. All right, so I'm not mad at it. So as of now, I can stick to what my original saying was, where if I'm going to take anybody's prediction, what anybody has to say, and I'm going to put some money down on it, you feel me? Right now, it's still going to be Calvin Ford, because Calvin Ford is just, it was so clean cut what he had to say. Let's go with Badu Jack next. Let's go with Badu Jack. We got a lot of things. Hey man, I hope y'all excited as I am, man. I hope y'all as excited as I am, and I know y'all is, man. There's no way you couldn't be, especially if you're just a fan of the sport. If you love boxing, like boxing, this is gonna be a good time. But let's see what Badu Jack had to say, huh?
Jay Martinez with Fire Up TV, sponsored by Station From VIP here with Badu Jack. Man, it's good to see you. Haven't seen you like over a year. I know you fight in Florida. What's supposed to take place? Remember when it was during the pandemic, we're talking about your fight. You came out victorious. How are you so far? I know you had another fight recently as well. You had a victory. So how are you so far?
It's good. I'm July right now. I had to come back for this big fight, just to watch this fight. Everything's good.
It's a big fight. We all know it. You can feel the energy. You can see it. You know, everybody's excited for this fight. What you make of this so far from the weigh-in? I don't know if you tuned into the press conference yesterday. What you think about the overall? You're just ready to fight, right?
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, this is like the biggest fight was made with a backyard. And you guys.
That's crazy that he said that, because that's what I said yesterday. I was like, if you think about at least in the last decade, at least the most hyped, the most anticipated, most talked about. The only thing that is above this fight would have to be, in boxing, of course, would have to be Mayweather Pacquiao. I know it's gonna make some people mad. I didn't think about it yesterday, but someone might say Mayweather McGregor. But that wasn't necessarily a real fight. It was a real fight, but it wasn't just the boxing community. But obviously, Mayweather's name was attached to it. One of the names one of the fights that I did put out there was Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury. The hype wasn't the same, especially in that first fight, but I think the hype became just as big after what happened in the first fight. But one thing that I said, yesterday, that I think is just so interesting to me, or funny, whatever the case you may want to say, or whatever the case you want to call it, is that even in the beginning of this year, dating back last year before, one of the big things a lot of promoters would say, one of the big things a lot of boxing fans would say, is the money's not there. Like Errol Spence, he's the A side, and a lot of people know about him, but no one knows who Terence Crawford is, and people aren't going to be interested in the fight. They're asking way too much money. You heard Eddie Hearn talk about that a lot. Even Bob Arum said it. So it's funny now for that to just be flipped around in a matter of 6 to 7 months, where it just seems it's probably going to be one of the biggest fights we've had in the last decade, since, like Badu Jack said, Mayweather Pacquiao.
Guys in their prime, undisputed championship.
Everybody's put it down the line. Like, everybody's like, I don't know who to choose. I don't know, like, who's the best fighter. I mean, who's going to win overall. What's your prediction? Are you 50-50?
I'm 50-50. That's how I think it's going to be a really close fight. Whoever has the best night, I don't know, man. It's so hard. I'm close with Errol Spence. I like Terence Crawford too, so yeah, I'm just going to be a fan.
Let me tell you from my point of view. One day I wake up and I'm like, I'm picking Crawford. The next day I'm like, oh, I'm picking Spence. I'm from Dallas as well. I'm from Dallas, but it's like, you know what? Never mind. I'm picking Crawford. But here's the thing. Crawford is 35 years of age. He's already conquered the division. Spence is coming off, an 18-month layoff, a car accident, and a retina eye. Who comes in as the overall better fighter? Although Spence has, the height, doesn't have the reach, but he has the power. Who's the better fighter in your eyes?
I think as far as all-around fighter, I don't know. I mean, Errol Spence is physically stronger, bigger, quicker, faster. I think Crawford. So punching power, I think they both like equal. I don't know.
If you're going to step in the ring against
Politics.
vice versa,
He's like, man, he said up front. He said up front, he basically told you, he was like, yo, I'm close with Earl Spence, but, Terence Crawford, I respect. So right there, you knew politics was going to come into play. He ain't going to say how you really feel.
Going against Spence, and the first time against Crawford. Spence just start fast and lead. Both of them is like, kind of like me, kind of superstars. Tight and pressure on it. I don't think it's going to be about that. I think it's going to go on 12. Yeah, I'm not very weird to say. I think it's going to be very close fight. It's going to be like a 7 to 5 round either way. So maybe a draw. I never know. Yeah, people are saying that this fight could also, we can actually see a trilogy in the making. Yeah. I'm like, man, I don't know. It just depends on this fight, plays out. Let's just forward from here. I know there's big news.
And that's crazy. I'm not even finna cap you, man. So far, I'm standing by. So far, the best reaction, or so far the best analyst, so far the best breakdown, quick thoughts on the fight is definitely coming from Calvin Ford. And I knew that was going to be the way. Like, you seen how precise, confident, and clean he said who he felt not was going to win, but how he felt the fight was going to go. It was very clean, precise, to the point. Everyone, or at least the last two people I listened to, Errol, BlakGooseTV, I don't blame them because they're still fighters, right? They're signed, both of them, to PBC. So it's like they're choosing their words carefully. And I'm not saying, you got to remember, Gervonta Davis, he's not signed anyone. He works very closely with PBC, etc., but he's not signed anyone. But just the way Calvin Ford definitely said what he said, it was just so precise. It didn't seem like he favored anyone. He was just like, look, this is a close fight. This is how it's going to go. Where when I'm listening to Darrell, I'm listening to BlakGooseTV, I feel like they want to say something, or they want to, kind of really express how they feel the fight's going to go, but they're kind of holding back a little bit. I don't know why. Maybe that's just me being extra. Maybe I'm taking a little bit too much from it, but Calvin Ford, still, if I were to put money down on how the outcome of this fight is, I'm going with what Calvin Ford said. I'm putting money on that. I'm not putting money on what BlakGooseTV said. I'm not putting money on what Darrell said. No, it's not happening. Not even close. No, absolutely not. So, look, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a little disappointed. I know it's just two fighters, but y'all really playing straddling the fence, man. Y'all not being 100, man. Just say how you feel. I'm not saying, and we don't get that, man, because I'm saving the bangers for last. Like, we ain't gonna listen to Keith Thurman just yet. As you know, Keith Thurman gonna really tell it how it is. Stephen A. Smith, he might really tell it how it is. I'm not 100% sure, but we ain't there yet. You know what I'm saying? We I guess it's my fault because I'm choosing the people who's like, you know what I'm saying, kind of straddling the fence type. So, all right, so we went through them. Let's see what we're gonna go with next. Let's see. Adrian Broner, gruesome warning to Crawford on Spence. Gruesome, man. That's a strong word. That was 7 hours ago. So that must have been during the weigh-ins. Let's see what Adrian Broner said. Adrian Broner already told us who he rocking with. He's told us multiple times, camp, peoples, all that. You know what I'm saying? Adrian Broner's gonna stick and rock with his boy. But let's see what he got to say. Might as well. I ain't mad at it.
With someone in the crowd calling out the finger, you don't see that.
I mean, this is that type of fight, and I'm just here for the fight. I ain't here for all of that. That's because at the end of the day, everybody doing all that arguing, and man, these two guys got to fight. These boys get in the ring. I ain't just talking.
You look great your last fight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I heard your next fight is something bigger. So maybe everyone might be on the card. And have some cartoon about that.
Yeah, October 7th, man. I got bang. Sir, Easy might be on the card. They know he a bad motherfucker. It's just up there.
Okay, he is a Jake Paul.
Jake. I want Jake to win.
How's Jake doing?
Come on, bro. This is, I don't care about none of
I
this.
don't know how he do it, but as a fan, you know,
He's asking you questions. I don't care about none of this.
he is more, but for the sport, I would want Jake to win, you know, but I wouldn't mind if Nate win though.
I can ask you a question. A lot of times, something that you're growing up from boxing fan. You're a star here in sports. Everyone knows you're going to be a boxing fan to get that age over. How come so many few other boxers have crossed over with you?
I don't know, man. You know, I just try to do everything.
You asking questions no one care about. Ask the important questions. Yeah, about Terence, Crawford, Errol, Spence. Come on.
He's the nicest guy you know. Person
I see the kid. I just talked to him yesterday, and it come with being at the top. And that's what comes with it. So, you know, but he a great kid. He a great guy. You know, it just takes for somebody to really get to know him. And at this point, you know,
Had to fast forward, y'all. I don't want to hear none of that.
were you looking to a fight with Ryan for rules? And of course, but I'm going to get that WBC title. And you know, they made. I love them both, good, like for real. But I'm with her. You know, I always switch with my people.
A lot of
course you do. You've been saying that.
They think Terence Crawford is going to win because he got more experience.
That's not true. Earl can do everything that Terence can do.
So is this the girl we want to see this weekend?
Man, what I'm trying to tell y'all is it's going to be a gruesome fight. I really just want both guys to leave the ring, sing, go home, love, and chill with their family.
Have you sparred both of them?
No, but I had wars with
Errol, yeah.
real wars too.
Very quiet. He's alone.
Yeah, we know.
He has a farm. What would you get? He has horses, cows, sheep, goats.
All right, so AB, you know what I'm saying? He's rocking with his team, he's rocking with his people. He was like, hey, yo, look, Errol can, Ellie said, some people are saying Terence Crawford got more tools in the toolbox. He was like, Errol can do everything that Terence Crawford can do. That's not necessarily the case. Styles make matchups, right? And there's a reason why it's a 50-50 fight. And the reason why it's a 50-50 fight is because Errol can do things that Terence can't do, and Terence can do things Errol can't do. That's why it's a 50-50 fight. Excuse me. It would not be a 50-50 fight if you're in a position where you're basically saying, well, Terence can do this, Errol can't do that, Errol can do this, but Terence can do that. So I'm like, they both have aspects to their game where basically you're looking at it and you're saying, oh, well, shit. This fighter can't do this, but the other fighter can. This fighter can do this, but the other fighter can't. So I'm like, don't cap. It's all good. I'm not mad at it. AB's made a career off of being a little bit on the cap artist. And y'all know that's not me being disrespectful at all. AB is one of my favorite fighters day one, all time. Probably he's like top 3 for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about like skill level or nothing. I'm just talking about me personally as my favorite fighter what made me love boxing. You know what I'm saying? But as we know, AB's look, man, when it comes to these fighters' reactions, man, Darrell, you know what I'm saying? AB, you know what I'm saying? Who we just see, Badu Jack, they all kind of just, they playing the fence, you know what I'm saying? They in the middle, they playing the middle, they're not really being 100. And I just knew off the bat, like the way when I heard Calvin Ford say what he had to say and the way he broke it down so easily, he didn't pick no sides because he didn't need to pick no sides, but he just made it very apparent. This is how the fight's gonna go. Don't question it. This is what it is. I'm like, man, that's gold right there, man. No cap, like that's gold. So I knew that was gonna be the case, so I'm still rocking with it. I'm hoping we can find a better reaction, but I still haven't got to the good stuff yet. I'm keeping the good stuff for later. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do the good stuff too early. You already know. Like we still gotta hear Keith Thurman. We still gotta hear Stephen A. Smith. But who we got next? Let's see what we're gonna react to, and then we also I have to actually react to the weigh-ins also. So that's that too. So let me see. Let's see what we're gonna do next. And we still got to go over why there's a video talking about I said Jermell, so I'm gonna have to change the title. It's all good though, but it's Jermall Charlo chasing after Caleb Plant after he was punched in the face, and I don't know if it was by Caleb Plant, by one of his teams. I don't know. So, but I did want to see. I saw a video of Frank Martin. I already know who Frank Martin's gonna rock with, so I want to see, or at least hear, what Frank Martin had to say in regards to how he thinks the fight's gonna go. We got Roy Jones Jr. too, so we can check that out too. That's gonna be a good one. Let's do that then. Let's go. Let's go with well, no. Okay, here goes Frank Martin. So let's listen to what Frank Martin has to say, and then we'll move forward and we'll do Roy Jones next.
Right? Like your lane. What's your take on that right here?
They ready. You know, you can tell they ready. They ready to get it on.
Now, I know you're rocking with Spence because that's your man.
Sure.
Is that because you're being biased?
Yeah.
But you're seeing them that we don't see.
All the little stuff, you know what I mean? All the little details, you know, all the little stuff. It really like it ain't too many mistakes, you know, everything calculated.
Do you think this is gonna be an Errol Spence that we never seen like before?
Man, y'all just gonna see the dog. Y'all gonna see he's gonna be on point. He's gonna be real sharp. I think he's gonna be mean. He's gonna be sharp.
Now, do you think he's gonna go all the way to the scorecards?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Enough about that. You had an amazing win 2 weeks ago. What's next for you? Who are you looking for right now?
The top dog. You know what I mean? The top dog.
I bet. So you see Frank Martin right there. Why don't y'all? Well, I guess because this is PBC. This is PBC's event, even though Terence Crawford is, his own entity. So it's all PBC fighters. But I'm just looking at it, I'm like, man, every single fighter that they interview is just like these, come on, man, like give me something different. I'm not saying you gotta pick anybody different, but I'm just saying like what you say, like make it mean something. So I really believe it. That's why I really appreciated Calvin's, because I was like, he ain't pick nobody, but what he said was so precise and on points. Like, damn. But I'm like, Darrell, AB, you know what I'm saying? But do Jack, now Frank Martin. I'm like, things y'all saying, like, bro, like that shit just sounds so generic. You know what I'm saying? It's like it seems like you just picking Errol Spence because he's from the same, either camp or he's from the same promotion. And it's like it won't be a good look to pick to say something in the sense where it makes you possibly think that they're leaning toward Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, for you to say, him to ask you, think we're going to see a new Errol Spence, then you to be like, nah, but you're going to see a dog. Like, what, bro? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm looking into it too much. Maybe I'm being a little bit too extra. I don't know if that's the case, but I'm like, what? Like, you ain't give no reason. Like, oh, it's the details. It's the details. Okay. Explain to me what the details are, bro. You acting like the details is top secret. You feel me? I want to know what the details are. Let me know. But it's all good, man. I shouldn't expect nothing different. You feel me? That's just what it is, right? So, all right, that was Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying? They was finna go into like what he had in the future and stuff like that. Not that I don't care what Frank Martin got going on. I got nothing but respect for him, rising prospect, doing his things. But this ain't what we talking about right now. We keeping it straight. Errol, it's Terence Crawford. Do you feel me? So with that being said, let's see what Roy Jones Jr. got to say. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how Roy Jones. Let's see if Roy Jones, he ain't got no entity in this. He ain't got no hand in playing that. So let's see if Roy keeps it real. You feel me? Let's see if Roy holds back. Turn that down. There we go. I got no choice, man. Fuck it. And he rated you off. He said, nah. Man, they don't even get Roy to talk. Come on, you over here following him around. It don't seem like he paying you no attention. Okay, here we go. All right, all right, here we go.
Go ahead, who you got, baby? It's tough, man, but it's 50-50, my man. Like, both fighters, I love both fighters. I'm with them, I understand. The fight got made, they want to face because it's important that boxing gets these kind of fights and keep boxing alive. The best ain't fight the best, then we ain't doing that. So it don't matter who we like. It's like, the best fight the best, what we want, we get everything we want. You know what I mean?
You like Crawford's counter punching or Spence's pressure, man?
I like both of them, I'm saying. Crawford's kind of punch me good early, but Spence gonna be good late. So, like I said, it's a 50-50. It's who can dominate the most in their time. The early time should belong to Crawford. The late time won't belong to Spence. So who can dominate the most in their time is going to be who wins the fight. You got these guys fighting. You think I'm supposed to fight? Of course, they have to because financial question. How can you stay at the top of the pound for pound list if you're not fighting the next best pound for pound fight in your weight class? If you ain't doing the list like you. If you're going to fight the best, then why you doing it? Now we get back to Roy Jones days. So now bring it. I know.
It's a knockout. More likely to get the knockout.
I'm a trainer, but either one of them can win a knockout. If Errol wins a knockout, though, it's late, I think, in my opinion. If Terence can win at any time by knockout, because Terence is a different type of fighter. He's explosive, whereas Errol is a pressure fighter. You know, pressure means you start now, but you benefit later. You don't expect a pressure fighter, you're going to earn his knockout. You understand me? But late, you could, not early.
What the both have to do to win the championship?
Earl has to put the pressure on Errol to the body area to wear him down so that his pressure can be effective late. Terence has to get an early jump on Earl and outbox him, try to cut him up a little early, but he won't be good to pressure late.
Who's the best pound for pound, the winner of this fight or the new way?
Huh?
Who's the best pound for pound, the new way or the winner of
The
that?
winner of this fight is the best pound for pound right now, but the way ain't far behind him. Very close. I don't think so.
Roy Jones said he could
Believe it. But only thing with him is you don't have an opposition like these two guys. These two guys are here. This is what we've been missing in boxing at the right time. If we don't have that person right now. This guy was good, but not a lot of people don't go. You understand me? Everybody in boxing don't go to these.
It's insane to ask him to go to 35 for Tank. Is that insane?
You know what I'm saying? I was the heavyweight, I did the thing.
Right.
Like from middleweight.
Fight comes soon to this undisputed 4-belt champion. When the fuck after you was you ranking all time and not heavyweight?
Yeah, he's pretty far up there. Very close. Very close.
Top Trace is rated R.
I ain't even finna gonna lie. That was a good. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I like listening to the people who isn't, fighting for a particular brand that can influence your decision or influence your take, because that was a really beautiful breakdown, and it's very interesting. Like Roy Jones Jr. is a trainer now, but obviously he's a fighter by blood. Calvin Ford, obviously he's done what he's done, but he's a trainer by blood, and it was very different. The technical reasonings, or at least the outlook on how the fight was going to end up being, in both of their personal opinions. Calvin Ford said it's going to go to decision, but someone's probably going to get dropped. Roy Jones Jr. said, I don't think it's going to go all 12 rounds. I think someone's going to get stopped. I asked him, who do you think is going to get knocked out? Who do you think is going to be able to get, hit with that power punch where they're not going to be able to get back up from it? He said it can happen on both ways. But I really liked how he broke down that, what he said when he said, in order for either of the fighter to win, they're going to have to make sure that when they have the advantage and pertain to what their skill set brings, they're going to have to take the most. They don't have to utilize it the most. If they don't utilize their advantages the most, they're going to lose the fight. And that was a very beautiful breakdown. I love how he put that, where it was like Terence Crawford in the time frame, in the time being of the fight. Since you're a counter puncher, since you're someone who likes to kind of like analyze, watch, break down an opponent and see where their weaknesses are, you have to make sure you utilize the beginning rounds in your favor. You can't take those rounds off. And that doesn't mean, the way I took it is like, that doesn't mean you have to win those rounds. That just means you have to make sure that you're able to download and dissect Errol Spence in a way where you can utilize it in the later rounds. Or for Errol Spence, he was saying, Errol, you have to make sure in the later rounds you are putting so much pressure on Terence Crawford that he doesn't have the ability to be able to get off that shot or be able to counterpunch you or be able to do something that would put you in a dangerous position. You have to progress like you've been progressing in a fight in order to keep him from being able to utilize his tools, which is why you're such, you know, you're looked at as such a great presser fighter, you know, someone who continues to bring someone who continues to bring the steam, someone who continues to bring just a constant pushback against whoever their opponent is. You have to make sure you bring that to the utmost in the later rounds, so Terence Crawford isn't able to utilize what he got from the earlier rounds later on, because that's what Terence Crawford does. Because at first I was going to disagree with Roy Jones Jr. because Roy Jones was like, well, Terence Crawford has to utilize the beginning of the fight, like the first 6 rounds, in order for him to win. Errol Spence has to utilize the 6 to 12 for him to win. But then he later was saying, if Errol Spence was going to knock out Terence Crawford, it would be in the later rounds. He said if Terence Crawford was going to knock out Errol Spence, it can be at any time. And I was like, oh, and it clicked for me right there. I was like, that's a beautiful way to put it, because it doesn't mean Terence Crawford, like I said, has to win the first 6 rounds. He has to be able to utilize his ability in a way where it will be able to benefit him in the later rounds. And we've seen this many times where it looks like Terence Crawford is losing the first 6 rounds, but really he's just downloading data. So when we get into the later rounds, he's like, okay, this is a shot that's going to be able to hit him. This is where I can punch him in between punches. I can put him, you know, in his place, or I can make him seem like he's off, or whatever the case may be. So that was a very beautiful. And Roy, man, he was so amped up, the passion. I was like, man, you could tell he's hyped up for this fight. That was a good reaction. So we got 2 good reaction analysts of the fight right now. I still am going to say, if I were to put money on anything, I would still do it with the outcome of Calvin Ford. But Roy Jones Jr., I really liked how he broke everything down. When it comes to Badu Jack, when it comes to Darrell, no disrespect to these guys, AV, no disrespect to him, but it was just, you know, I'm kind of mad I even watched it, because it was kind of a waste of my time. No disrespect, but it was, okay? I'm just being completely honest with you. But those so far, those have been the 2 best, Calvin Ford, Roy Jones Jr. All right, so we're getting close to that bread and butter. We're going to be having Keith Thurman soon, see what he has to say. We got a 2-minute 34 of his reaction coming from Fight Hype. We got a 3-minute 50-second one coming from Fight Hub. We have a longer breakdown from Keith Thurman. I think that joint is like 11 minutes. I'm trying to decide which one I want to listen to, or maybe if I want to just take a listen to a little bit of all of them. I don't know. Because the Keith Thurman breakdown, that was before. So what I'll do, we'll listen to the Keith Thurman breakdown, and then we'll listen to his initial reaction straight off of the weigh-ins, because the Keith Thurman breakdown was before the weigh-ins. That was like about a day before. That's going to be a different type of emotional type thing when he's talking about that. And then we're going to listen to, which is a lot shorter, him right after the weigh-ins, right? But we're not going to get to that just yet. Like I said, one person that I did want to listen to was Stephen A. Smith's prediction. And then we also have Derek James talking a little bit about him getting a little bit heated about everything. So what we're going to do, let's go with Derek James first, okay? And then after Derek James, let's go Stephen A. Smith. Then let's get into Keith Thurman. We're going to listen to Keith Thurman's. Then let's actually get into the weigh-ins, right? And let me do my prediction, listen to all that good stuff. And then after the weigh-ins, we're going to go ahead and end with Jermell Charlo supposedly getting punched, slapped, whatever the case may be, by either Caleb Plant or his team, allegedly. So that's going to be the remaining of this live. So appreciate everybody who's came up in here as of now. I know it's Friday. It's Friday of the fight week. So I'm like, you know, man, I know y'all having a good time. I don't blame you. I should probably be doing the same thing. Oh, I am, y'all. I'm having a good time on live, man. So salute to the people, double salute to be exact. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you come in here and got something to say, say it. I don't care. But let's go now with Derek James. And let's see what he has to say after the weigh-ins for Spence versus Crawford. Let's listen closely, shall we?
All right, Jermell TV, Final TV, sponsored by Stage from VIP. Finally, Derek. Finally, it's been almost here a week. I don't blame you. I know you got a lot to do. You got to take care of your fighter. We just finished the weigh-in. The atmosphere is electric. I've been, being here in Vegas for a lot of fights this year. We had a lot of good fights this year. But this one, it's just something different. It's just something different about this fight. Just tell me right now what emotions are running through you as a trainer, as a person, or just seeing this fight finally have the weigh-in. It's finally here.
It's like, really, I'm just like, oh, right? Really, that's over. That it was dope to see all the people all the way up to the
Yes.
and, it was very cordial and very, you look back and you say, is that how you want to be remembered? Like I talked to Errol, I'm like, man, I apologize. Not for what I said, but how I acted. And I don't believe in apologizing. If I really meant something, I'm not going to apologize. I'll take what
I told you, man, Derrick James, it seems like he been on edge more than Errol Spence this entire fight week. Every video I see of him, man, it's like he ready to jump. Like, damn, it's like you the one cutting weight or is Errol Spence?
Derek, I've known you, I've known you for maybe a good amount of years. But and it's various times that I see you react a certain way. And there's something bad about it. But I just think, like you said, I'm already, like, at the beginning of the press conference, like, I'm already annoyed at people asking about this fight. Finally, we get this fight. Finally, we get to ask about this fight. But is he just hiding up? You're like, man, I'm just getting ready for this fight. Is that what kind of got to it?
This is what it is. When you hear people talk about you, and when you're in front of them, and I don't know what he said, but man, to this, man, you're like, you're not people. And so, he said what he said or whatever, but he's in Indianapolis. He said, really, I'm just like, I shouldn't have engaged in that. I shouldn't have. He's like, I ain't going to. He said,
Cliffside came out.
but you know what? This is what I was saying. It was the teenage Derrick James. When it was the World Cup, that's all we did all day was sport. Talk crack jokes.
So I'm surprised. So I was like, if y'all watched my live yesterday, I was wondering, like, when they was going back and forth, him and Bomac, I was like, or at least, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm getting back into this heavily because, like, I don't remember, or I don't think I saw anything where Bomac said anything crazy about Derrick James, but apparently Derrick James is saying that there was things said that was previous, and that when he finally came, eye to eye, face to face, whatever the case may be, it was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I can either act like I ain't hear it and be cool with it, or I can be like, well, I remember you saying this, you know what I'm saying? Stand on it. Which, by the way, he didn't do. I don't know why he's acting like that's what he did. It's just like he threw some shots and some jabs back publicly. But so I missed something. I guess Bomac had something to say previously, or maybe he threw some shots at Derrick James I wasn't aware of, and that's why Derrick James was acting the way he was in the press conference, etc. So we're gonna do a little bit more of this. We're not gonna go through this whole interview with Derrick James. It's 9 minutes 55 seconds. I'm not that interested. We'll go about another minute, and then we can go ahead and move on, and we will listen to the Stephen A. Smith reaction, how he felt about his prediction with the fight.
It's like you can just talk trash to each other, whatever. But that came out, and, it was like, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was looking bad. Like, it's just, just the fight's here, you're ready, and then just ready to go. How was Spence feeling today for the weigh-in? Good. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, he said that this last fight at 147. How was he making the weight cut? Because I know he said previously to this, he did the old school way, put the bag on and train himself, that he had nutrition. He looked healthy.
Right there, for the last two fights, so he had nutrition. So yeah, he looks strong, his physical is healthy, yes. He's feeling good.
What did you tell him today at the weigh-in after he made weight? What did you tell him? What was the first?
All right, so I'm good with that when it comes to Derrick James. Salute to Derrick James. Yeah, I'm good with that. There wasn't much going on with that interview. I won't even lie to you. So we're going to go with Stephen A. Smith's breakdown of the fight. We got a 4-minute 26 one. We got a 3-minute 31. Let's go with a 3-minute 30-second one because I feel like it's gonna be more precise. So we're gonna go with the Stephen A. Smith breakdown of his fight. After the Stephen A. Smith breakdown, we're gonna go with the Keith Thurmans, and then we're gonna end all of this off with watching the actual weight. Okay, so once again, double salute to the people, man. Happy Friday. Hopefully y'all enjoying y'all Friday. You know what I'm saying? If you want something extra, if you're not on something extra, whatever the case may be, it's much love. Tomorrow's gonna be a good time. Y'all know, man, we about to be on it. That shit was loud as fuck. My bad. You gotta make sure shit cool, man. Like, you don't never know what situation finna happen. I was like, that shit loud as fuck. You know, niggas finna be outside my shit. But tomorrow we're gonna be on Fluence Lounge. Y'all know what the case may be, so make sure y'all join me for Fluence Lounge on everything. But let's get into the Stephen A. Smith breakdown. Actually, before we do that, let me make sure I'm right, because it's Friday for me. You feel me? And hopefully it's Friday for y'all too. Y'all enjoying yourselves for real. But so me personally, of all the reactions, all the breakdowns that I personally been paying attention to, been watching, been reacting to, listening to, if I want to have a top tier list, Calvin Ford is still number one. You know what I'm saying? He said the least, but he broke it down the most. You know what I'm saying? And that's just mad talent. And that just shows why Gervonta Davis has an amazing trainer. Following up with that is definitely going to be Roy Jones Jr. I really love the passion Roy Jones went into breaking down the fight and who he thinks is, going to win, even though he didn't really say that, but how things are going to go. So I ain't have nothing but respect for that. Even though necessarily if I were to put down money on, who I thought, if I were to put down money on prediction wise, like what prediction or reaction, which person I'm going to actually be willing to bet on, like, Calvin Ford's prediction, that's where I'm going to put the money. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. And then after that, like, I'm not even finna cap to y'all. Like, there's really nobody else I really enjoy. Like, AB, he was biased. Darrell, he didn't give you nothing. But Jack, you know what I'm saying? So that's just me just being 100 with it. And then, obviously with Derek James, he's a trainer of Errol Spence, so I don't expect nothing from it. Stephen A. Smith, I'm going to be very interested to see what he has to say. Hopefully he ain't on no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he has something that I can really interest with. But I won't even lie. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I just need to be 100 with myself. I saw these videos and everybody, you know what I'm saying, having something to say about the fight. Maybe I just expected more. But I'm just like, damn. A lot of these videos that I watched, I'm like, this ain't it. This ain't it. But we still having a good time regardless. So happy Friday. What's good with his end? Salute to you, dude. Double salute to be 100%. You know what I'm saying? Exact. You know what I'm saying? We ain't here, man. You already know what the deal is. So let's go ahead and let's get into we're gonna get Stephen A. Smith out the way. You feel me? Let's see what Stephen A. Smith got to say. Because as of now, out of like 6, you can say, I guess, predictions or, you know what I'm saying, analysis of the fight. The only one that I've just fucked with is Calvin Ford's. And then I really love the passion from Roy Jones. So hopefully Stephen A. Smith can give us something different. I was going to do the 3-minute 31. Yeah, I'm going to do the 3-minute 31. We don't need a long one. We don't need a long one. A long one usually, you know what I'm saying, be crazy.
Born in Atlanta. That means something.
It'd be extra. We don't need all that. I ain't finna cap to you.
Everybody roots for him. I understand why.
I will do the 4-minute 4 because I already hearing that. I'm like, they both gonna have bad audio, so I'm not even tripping on it. Let's do 40-40. It's crazy they fight tomorrow because I haven't even been locked in on it. Yeah, bro, me neither. I'm like, this is what I've been saying this. I've been telling people on this whole entire thing. I'm like, I just came back to YouTube, being consistent. But one of the biggest and main reasons that I'm doing it is because, like, I haven't been engulfed in the boxing world. So I'm trying to get myself hyped for it. So when I watch the joint, I'm really into it. But I'm hyped for it now. I went live every day on this joint. I've been reviewing, watching all the reactions. I'm hyped for it now. UFC's tomorrow has a crazy card too. So I'm hyped, man. I can't wait. It's gonna be nothing but a good time. As I said, but Bud finna win. Errol gonna give him a fight. Might take Crawford to 6 or 7 until you figure out Errol. Yeah, my prediction is probably a 10th round TKO from Terence Crawford. I think Errol Smith's gonna look really good in the early rounds. I think they'll look really, really good. 1 through 7. People won't be talking that shit, and all of a sudden, da 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 da. But let's see what Stephen A. Smith got to say. Punk ass.
I think with Charlo, what they bring to the table, the fact that they are leading they are, and they don't get the recognition.
If there's anything I'll always give Stephen A. Smith for is he's the definition of money will always supersede niggas talking shit. Cause ain't no way a nigga should be walking around with your hairline being in the middle of your head and not care. So when you have that money, you could be the ugliest nigga in the world. Your eye can be fucked up, teeth fucked up, ear. You have one ear, but I got the money because I'm like, Stephen A. Smith, bro, you should have been bald. The fact that you holding on to your hairline, and I know you get this all the time. This is old. I know, but I want y'all to see the angle I'm looking at. Y'all probably just think I'm clowning just to clown him. No, 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 no. I want y'all to see this angle. This is crazy. Look at this. Look at that angle. His hairline is in the back of his head. That's crazy. And he don't care, bro, because he's making millions. Oh, I was about to see a text message. Y'all need to see that. Who just hit me? Oh, white hoe hit me. But let's see what he got to say. That hairline's crazy. I need to make as much money as this nigga, man. Because ain't no way you walking around holding on to dear life. That's crazy. Let's go.
I got a real problem. And when you talk about fighters, yeah, you might talk about what they talk, but it's not like they don't get to bring it back.
That's kind of why though Fight Hype makes me mad because I feel like Fight Hype they be having like the worst audio. So I'm gonna go with Fight Hub. I feel like Fight Hub's gonna have a lot better audio. All right,
Everybody running from him.
Fight Hub always has better audio, bro. All day.
David Benavidez guy, though, man. I just am. Those two.
Before I start this, hey, bro, miss you too, bro. You already know. I'm trying to plan my escape to go out there, dog. You're right. Like, I really am. I'm trying to go out there. You know what I'm saying? We be on some shit. That hairline look crazy. I didn't lie. I had to show proof because it sounded like I was just trying to get on that nigga. But I'm like, the viewpoint that Fight Hype was doing it. I was like, that's crazy. You can't be showing that. That's crazy.
Definitely come to mind. Of course, I can't ignore Tank Davis. I can't ignore these guys. You know, just a lot of cats you gotta give love to. But I would tell you, to me, it's between Fury and Benavidez.
Who do you think poses the greatest threat to Devin Haney?
No mustache. That shit is crazy.
That's hard to say.
I'm gonna say there's just one thing I hate about some of these videos. Like, man, you can't. Why the fuck is you naming it? We talking about Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and you got all this other shit going on in the video. I don't want to hear none of that. It's a 5-minute video. Clip it to 2 minutes. Just talk about this shit I want to hear. Like Benavidez, like, what are you talking about? I don't care about none of that. All right, let's go back to it.
I would tell you this. I would say I haven't seen enough, and I certainly got mad respect for him. And I'd like to see him and Devin Haney fight. I respect Devin Haney. I know he was mad at me because I thought that Lomachenko got him for the last 3 rounds, but you're gonna have to get over that shit. The fact is, Devin Haney's great. He's a champion. The brother got mad skills, but Tank is Tank, and I'm one of those guys to answer.
You asking questions I don't give a damn about. Let's keep on topic. Let's hurry up and get to the Terence Crawford. I'm telling you, bro. Half of these reaction videos I watch, I'm telling you, that's why Calvin Ford, I have so much respect, kept it straight about the fight. Bet Roy Jones, straight about the fight. These other niggas, man, what are you talking about, bro? You know he paid, man, on God. You know he's paid. He ain't worried about none of that. Crawford and Spence in shape, made weight. I haven't got to the way we go. That's next after Stephen A. Smith. Well, okay. After I listen to this little bull, we're gonna listen to what Keith Thurman got to say because Keith Thurman, out of everyone we listen to, his opinion matters because there's a big possibility he can get either the winner or the loser of this fight because that's big money. Now, obviously there's a rematch clause, so he's gonna have to wait a little bit. But Keith Thurman, his career is kind of revived because he got that. You feel me? But we're gonna listen to what Keith Thurman got to say about the fight, and then we're gonna get to the actual weigh-ins, and I can see how they look in shape-wise. Pause. You feel me? The snipers in the building. Shout out to the people I'm gonna be tuning in tomorrow. I called off. We back. Hey, make sure you tune in because Fluent Sound finna be lit. It's finna be lit, boy. I'm finna get the tequila. I'm finna have the pizza. I'm be on one, boy. Had the phone set up, and it's gonna be tomorrow. Finna be crazy. So make sure if y'all watching the fight, y'all tune in to Fluent Sound. We finna be up tomorrow. It's finna be crazy. You already know. You already know. Then shout out to Danny Drew, his snipers all day. Shout out to the people, man. Shout out to people. Let's listen to the rest of this little bullshit Stephen A. Smith talking about.
Your question directly. I think that Devin Haney could outbox as beautiful as I think Javante Davis is.
Paul.
I think Devin Haney can outbox him and then get clipped. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, you might be the better boxer for 9, 10 rounds or whatever. But against Tank, all it takes is one. That's my concern.
Finally, man. That's the question we've been around. You asking questions about all these other fighters. Nobody cares about nothing. Like Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. Like, nigga, this is what we're talking about.
Secondly, I got, and you know what, watch first, fluid. So today, it's fluid, but today I got Crawford by decision. But it ain't like Errol can't take him. I think he's the bigger, stronger fighter. But Errol methodically marches down and breaks you down. I don't know if that can be done to Crawford. I think that Crawford is a marvelous boxer. I think he's got the temperament of a champion that really wants to do damage and be spectacular. He can fight conventional. He can go southpaw. He brought the power with him. And I think the biggest thing is that I think the biggest thing, I apologize. I think the biggest thing is that.
I want to show y'all this real quick. I'm going to rewind it a little bit. But it's not said. I'm at a bar right now, but I had to drop a light. We back tomorrow. Have a good night. Shout out to Fluence and holding out for people. You already know. Enjoy your night. It's snipers. And by the way, man, if you at a bar, if you see a pretty lady, I'm going to give you some game right now because this isn't my game. I learned this when I was at a gas station. If you see a chick that look good, you need to roll up to her. You need to be like, yo, I need that back. She gonna look at you crazy. She gonna be like, what? You gonna be like, please, can you give me that back? And she gonna look at you again. And then when she finally be like, what do I need to give you back? Be like, my heart. Why you take it from me, girl? Boom! That ain't me. That's not my line. That was from a nigga at a gas station. It's crazy. I was like, damn. Y'all use that as you may. Andrew says Stephen A needs to get tossed the 5 head. Look at this. I want y'all to see this real quick. I'm gonna wind it just a little bit. I'm gonna get copyright neither because it got the music going on crazy. Look. God damn it. Touch screen don't do no justice. Everything. Touch screen don't do nothing for you, man.
And I think the biggest thing,
$100 million man, Stephen A. Smith, he didn't know what was going on with the security. Look.
Is that Errol Spence might have gave
Y'all didn't even see it. Y'all didn't see it. The security came up. He was telling the people to move back, and Stephen A. Smith, I don't know if he faded or what, but he thought he was talking about him. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm like, Stephen A. Smith, you worth too much money to be saying sorry to anybody. Fuck you on, nigga. Hey, I'm telling you, use it. I haven't used the line yet. I'm finna use it. I might use it right now. Because I got a little bitty texting me. I'm gonna hit her. I'm gonna because she was like, "Oh, you still awake?" type. And, I'm not gonna hit her till I'm done with the live. But I'm gonna be like, "Girl, give me that back." She's gonna be like, "What you talking about? Give you what back?" I'm like, "My heart. Why you take it?" Well, that shit is cold. All right. Let's get back to boxing. All right, I'm getting off topic.
That's my concern. I know it could be either way. But right now, if I have to pick, it would be Crawford by decision. But I only changed my mind by tomorrow. I don't know. I'll tell you, he's got a chance. This ain't Mayweather Pacquiao. Mayweather can beat you back it up. He was so magnificent defensively. He hit and not get hit. Both of these.
Wait, what are you talking about? He said it's not Mayweather Pacquiao. Mayweather can beat you up, back it up. Do you know Terence Crawford can fight off his back foot just fine? This isn't Mayweather versus Pacquiao because these niggas ain't old and it's not too late. Now it was close to being too late. I ain't feeling lie. They're not in their prime, but I'm like, it's not too little too late when it comes to these two. So I'm like, that's like Terence Crawford can fight off his back foot. What the heck are you talking about, Steven?
These brothers don't hit.
But I do like this is my third favorite prediction of the fight. I never want to talk to him. That's like not talk to, excuse me, that I've watched in reaction videos, etc. It's obvious that you need to watch the reaction videos of the people who don't have any ties with the company or not fighters currently, because everyone else, you know, other than, like I said, Calvin Ford, Roy Jones Jr., and now Steve. So number one, Calvin Ford. If I'm going to bet, I'm going to put money on anything, I'll go with Calvin Ford's prediction. Roy Jones Jr. comes in second. We like how he broke it down. Stephen A. Smith coming in a strong third. I'm not mad.
Yeah, but they don't know how to run. And as a result, they're going to be there to get hit.
That's crazy. They don't know how to run. That's crazy. That's actually mad disrespectful to Floyd. When do we call boxing off your back foot running? Stephen A. Smith. Stay off the weed.
And I think that's what's going to make this an epic fight. It's a priority to me. It's a big deal to me. I love the sport of boxing. I love all the.
That's how you know Stephen A. was on one. He was all, it's a big deal to me. I love the sport of boxing. Like, nigga, you probably have trouble being. I'm sorry, I need to stop. You have trouble being on the treadmill, but chill, nigga.
Y'all who cover the sport of boxing, listen, I might know the sport. I might be on TV. I don't know the shit the way y'all know it. But y'all here every day. So I respect cats that are in the grind every day doing what they doing and bringing attention to the sport. And I'm here to help y'all do it because I love it.
I give Stephen A. that. You got to chill a little bit. You got to stay off that weed, man. It's probably the drink, but come on. Niggas want Bud to lose so bad, laughing my ass off. I feel it in the air, man. Well, I just think Bud, he's in enemy territory. He came over to PBC. A lot of the people that they're going to be interviewing is going to be, and a lot of people who's going to be at the fight are going to be people associated with PBC. So, you know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of respect. This is the thing. The difference in this is, like, I've seen no one disrespect Terence, even though they're associated with PBC, but a lot of their answers are very tapered or tailored, whatever you want to say, censored to this point where it's like, I don't want to say the wrong thing where I'm looked at like, why are you going against your PBC brother? That doesn't mean Terence Crawford's going to win. That doesn't mean he's that much better. I'm just saying that I just wish we had a little bit more diversity when it came to some of the people at this event and some of the people interviewed so we can really hear different takes. And like, number one, Calvin Ford, I loved his take. It was to the point. He didn't pick anybody, but the way he broke it down was beautiful, was very quick. Roy Jones Jr. did a very good job, a very passionate take. And then I guess Stephen A. Smith a strong third, even though I felt like he was all over the place. But, you know what I'm saying, I could tell it was from the heart. I think Stephen A. trying to interview for a new job. Now, he ain't going nowhere. ESPN got him locked down, but I'm like, ESPN is struggling. Like, ain't no way ESPN would let Stephen A. get away from their grips. Pause. Like, ain't no way. I'm like, ESPN would be nothing without Stephen A. That's a fact. So I'm like, they were not allowed to happen. Okay, so those are most of the, you know, predictions, reactions, whatever the case may be from majority of the people are going to care about when it comes to the weigh-ins. I have not watched the actual weigh-in yet. We're obviously going to do that tonight. But before we get to that, actually, I want to go into what I think is probably going to be the most important, the most impactful analyst prediction, whatever the case may be, of this particular fight, because I do think this is one of the guys that has the opportunity to come into this and fight either the loser or the winner of this fight, even after, you know, if there is, obviously there's going to be a rematch, trilogy, whatever the case may be. I think what we're looking at right now is the second coming of Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, where we're probably going to see a trilogy. We're definitely going to see a two-part series of this fight. But I think Keith Thurman is the guy that's going to have the opportunity to be able to either fight the loser of the fight or fight the winner of the fight. I think that's the next step, because I know Errol Spence said he's moving up regardless. But if you kind of just look at the state of the 154, Jermell Charlo, he is undisputed. He's going to be fighting Canelo. I don't think Canelo's going to have a rematch clause if Jermell ends up losing. But I just don't see Errol Spence having a chance to fight Jermell if Jermell loses over Tim Tszyu. So I think Tim Tszyu is next in line, and I think that's where there's a rematch clause. So the way everything's looking, I really think what we're looking at is a three-headed monster of Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, and Keith Thurman to make everything keep going. All right. So let's pull up what my guy Keith Thurman. Y'all know how bad I want to just like pause this whole thing and respond to it right now, but I'm not gonna do that. That's how y'all gotta stay strong. That's how y'all gotta stay strong. I watched the weigh-in live. No disrespect. That's not disrespectful. Respect. I couldn't watch it. I was at work, and then also too I didn't choose to because obviously I know I was gonna go live, so I wanted to do it for the live. But is that disrespectful? Let me know what you thought about the weigh-ins. Drop it all in the comments, man. I ain't got no problem with it. You know. I'm responding to this whole so bad. She a little baddie, but we gonna leave that alone. Okay, so the first video I'm going to pull up of Keith Thurman talking about the fight that's most recent. Let me see. Yeah, it's going to be right here. Love it. Okay, this is an 11-minute video. We're not going to listen to this whole entire thing of 11 minutes. We're going to do about 3 to 4 minutes, and then we're going to do his reaction straight after him being at the actual weigh-in. Okay. But I do just kind of want to hear what he says initially off of the
in and around world title fights for a lot of your career. Can you put into context how big this unified championship fight is on Saturday?
This is just history in the making, everybody. You know, I mean, this is what a lot of fight fans have been waiting for. They say, when's the best going to fight the best? These undefeated champions. This is unprecedented. We will have an undisputed welterweight champion of the world. This is going to just not dismiss. We don't dismiss the legends of those who came before us.
Yeah.
But we are clearly outside of the Mayweather era. That generation, they had their time.
That's a great thing.
But there's a shift. What do they call it? They call it a new age. It's a new dawn. Okay? The stars are in a new alignment. But we have two great champions. Errol Spence Jr., Terence Crawford. It's undisputed at the pinnacles of their career, clashing, going toe-to-toe. Somebody's O has got to go. And just so that you really understand, Floyd Mayweather never did this. Manny Pacquiao never did this. Names like Oscar De La Hoya have never done this. They already are Hall of Famers. For Christ's sake, I'm a Hall of Famer, former unified champion. But at the end of the day, the man who wins, they're going to have an extra class. They're going to have some extra statements on how great they've done, the great things that they've done in the welterweight division. And it's
a shame, man. Just listen to Keith Thurman. I'm like, man, he's such a gifted talker. Like, he's very captivating. It's a shame he had those injuries, because I think Keith Thurman probably would have been the guy to do what's happening right now. Y'all can say whatever you want. You can say you're a Keith Thurman fanboy, but I really think he would have been the guy to do what's happening right now at an earlier stage. But unfortunately, he was, held back from that. Danny Drew said they didn't disrespect each other. What I meant, talked and shook hands, looked like they were saying, yo, we both gonna get paid. Not only are they both gonna get paid, but they're gonna get paid 2 times. Because there's a rematch clause in there. Don't matter who wins, who loses. A rematch will be happening, right? This ain't Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis. So I can definitely see how that's the case.
all happening tomorrow night.
I mean, you know these guys well. They've been in divisions that you've been champion of and competed in. What do you think are the keys to victory for Crawford when it comes to tackling Spence tomorrow night?
So, I mean, obviously, what's the first thing in there? Don't get hurt. You know, number one rule of boxing is protect yourself at all times. So, I mean, look, I had a friend of mine used to keep I was like, I want you to, take less punches. I said, you think I don't want to take less punches? I said, did you even watch my last fight? I didn't even take a lot of punches. I realized he wasn't giving me criticism. I realized how hard it was for him to watch me fight. This is what happens. The more you know the fight, the more your heart is really in there with them. And every blow that they take, it pains the spectator, right? When you're just a fight fan, and you just have your opinion of Crawford, and you just have your opinion of Spence, and you don't have a connection, a relationship. You don't see him at the barbershop. You don't see him at the YMCA playing basketball or any of the average age things. Because I know we're celebrities. I know we're on TV, but we're regular people too. And some people, they get the special thing of seeing the man outside of the ring. And a lot of those people will be backing Spence tomorrow night, and a lot of those people will be backing Crawford tomorrow night. And they're going to be yearning.
I can't even lie. I said I wasn't going to watch the whole 11 minutes of this, but man, Keith Thurman, and this might just me being a fanboy. Y'all let me know, or just really, if y'all a long time, watches the channel, Keith Thurman is basically up there with Adrian Broner for me when it comes to like my favorite fighters. He really can put boxing into words in a way where it's like, man, I just love listening to it because he's really just representing both sides. He's representing himself as a fighter, but also as an analyst, but then also saying this is the perspective of a fan. And I really appreciate that. I'm still like, this doesn't change anything. I still really, really enjoy Calvin Ford's breakdown of the fight. I still think that's number one. If I were to put money down on how it's going to go, it would be Calvin Ford's way. Roy Jones was number two for me, but right now, and see, this isn't after the weigh-in. Like, I haven't listened to one after the weigh-in. After the weigh-in is only like 3 minutes, so I think that's going to be a little bit more difference because the energy is going to be different for Keith Thurman because he's probably going to be like, yo, I'm going to fight one of these dudes at some point in the next 2 years, most likely. So, but it just this breakdown and prediction, whatever the case may be, right now I got it ahead of Roy Jones. So I got it number one, Calvin Ford, Keith Thurman, Roy Jones, and then I got Stephen A. Smith. So let's see if he keeps doing that way. Zen saying I'm a fanboy. He said, You a fanboy, but you're not talking bullshit. All right, I ain't mad at it. All right, yeah. Humble my ass. Oh man, I might be fanboy a little bit. I just love it. I feel like he really breaking it down. I'm like, this nigga Keith Thurman really got it in the bag, but okay, let me see.
For them to elevate.
I'm a really try and not play the whole 11 minutes. I promise. I'm a really try and not play the whole 11 minutes. But I'm enjoying this shit. Not should it be.
Absolute greatness, and they're going to be supporting them when you lose control. They're going to go, see great champions to be the highest level of boxing. What I like to, another thing I like to say about this fight is these guys have forever been the best. Okay, I mean since the amateur, before they ever got paid. Okay, I was a 7-time national champion myself. I was the living alternative myself for the 08 China Games. Crawford was a part of that Olympic trials. He also fell short in contention for the 2008 China Games. Errol Spence went to your country to compete in the 2012 Olympics.
Yeah.
So we are talking before they ever made a dollar. They were fighting for trophies. They were fighting for.
Can I say this real quick? This is why I think Keith Thurman is such a smart motherfucker too, because it's like he's uplifting himself while also promoting these fighters. Because he's like, I'm a 7-time world champion. It's like some Floyd Mayweather said, I'm a 7-time world amateur champion. Oh, by the way, Terence Crawford, he was in them same Olympic trials. Errol Spence, he was in the same Olympic trials. But what's funny is like he doesn't say it, but he basically saying like, did you notice that I said that I was the one who won the Olympic trials multiple years? But Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, they was in it too. So they've been winning. It's like, but like you basically said, like, nigga, why? I love Keith Thurman, bro. I can't even cap, bro. Doesn't Jay Prince fuck with Earl like he isn't? Doesn't Jay Prince fuck with Earl like isn't he under Jay Prince or something like that? No, Jay Prince. He does have a big hand in boxing, especially when it comes to a lot of dudes coming out of the South, Texas. He has a lot of I can't think of them right now, but he has a lot of marketable names signed up under him. Jay Prince does fuck with Errol Spence, but I don't think there's any ties with Jay Prince in the sense of money wise. But I may be wrong. But yeah, Jay Prince and Errol Spence, they do fuck with each other. But that's because Jay Prince, he has a pretty big influence when it comes to boxing, and a lot of guys coming from the South, especially Texas, because he has his own boxing promotional company, and he has some very, very, very talented guys under that boxing promotional company as well. So you're right, you're not wrong, but I won't say you're completely right. All right, I'm gonna go 6 minutes into this because I'm not gonna do the whole 11 minutes, but it's just I'm like Keith Thurman, he's a funny motherfucker.
For medals, they were fighting to go home and just make their mommies and their daddies proud, which apparently they've done a tremendous job of doing that. Okay, these guys have forever been some of the best fighters for the world to see. And I live this fight, so I know what that's like. And that's what makes this fight so exciting. You know, it's really a big fight. What do you like? Do you like the athletic switch hitter Crawford? Or do you like the solid, the fundamentally, nothing really special, but that's what makes it special, Errol Spence Jr., where he just...
So that is why I love Keith Thurman. He gave you guys the real differences between the fighters. He said the switch hitter, the athletic Terence Crawford, fundamentally sound Errol Spence, nothing really special about him. But what makes him special is he's so fundamentally sound. It's like people do not want to acknowledge that Errol Spence, he's not that athletic in the ring. Yes, he has slow feet. He doesn't necessarily fight with a high IQ. His whole entire plan is to, test his strength. I'm going to tire you out. I'm going to outmuscle you. I'm going to grind you out. I'm going to be able to stay in this thing longer than you are. Which there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great thing if you're great at it, and Errol Spence is. Terence Crawford, quick feet, quick hands, high IQ. That doesn't mean he's going to be able to beat Errol Spence, because at the end of the day, if you're a bigger man, certain shots ain't going to be able to come through. But I love that. That was such a... Man, y'all listen, man. Y'all listen, man. Y'all listen, man. This is such a high intellectual take on this fight. And maybe I'm fanboying like Zen said, but this is such an biased take in the sense of where he's not saying too much, where PBC is like, hey, yo, chill, bro. You making it seem like you rocking for someone when you shouldn't be. But he's putting it in a place where if you're someone like myself, you really understand what he's saying. I promise I'm not gonna play this whole 11-minute video. I promise.
Just has such
maybe 10 minutes.
A very solid jaw and eyes to pull.
Yeah, Errol, if anything, Errol has way better defense than Terence Crawford. That's something I'll say. Errol's defense is so fucking phenomenal. Errol Spence has such a disciplined defense. It's ridiculous. And that's what I love about Errol, is because Errol understands, and who his trainer is, Derek James, understands. He may not be the most athletic, which means you can get away with certain defensive flaws when you're really athletic and have quick feet, because your feet can be more of your defense than your hands or your head movement. You don't have that. So you got to make sure your defense is on point. And that's the same thing with Jermell Charlo. You see the same thing with Jermell. That's why I wish Jamal wasn't such a... I'm not even going to go to that. Let's finish this. By the way, the last video after we watched the weigh is we're going to try and figure out who the fuck punched Jermell Charlo. Was it Caleb Plant or someone from his team? So, yeah.
At the right time. It's a game of inches. Sometimes it's not what you need to do, but it's those little mistakes. Who's going to make more mistakes tomorrow? Who's going to capitalize on the mistakes that are presented? Now, if you want me to give you the keys to victory, I believe that Crawford has the capacity to throw more combinations. And I remember when I fought Danny Garcia, yes, in the opening round, boom, I hit him with that right. I had him shook. I woke him up, and then he was very defensive. And I could tell that he didn't want to take another big shot like that again. And then, of course, Danny is known for those counter punches. He's known for sitting down and throwing the big, heavy blows. But luckily for me, they were always too slow. I could see him loading up. I know he fought in New York, but he was loading up, throwing those punches from Philly. Okay, I could see those punches coming from a mile away. That's why you're quick.
I don't want to keep interrupting, but this is very interesting. Keith Thurman is basically looking at the fight from if he was in it. So I think Keith Thurman sees himself more so like a Terence Crawford. And if you really think about their styles, Keith Thurman is more like a Terence Crawford. The biggest difference between the two, obviously, one, they're not a switch hitter. And I actually will say, my personal opinion, Keith Thurman is more athletic than a Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. His feet are faster than both of them. Keith Thurman doesn't possess the power, though, that a Terence Crawford and Errol Spence has. But Keith Thurman does have power. There's a reason why. Keith Thurman does have, don't mistake that. Just because Keith Thurman is someone who, he has no problem fighting the entire fight off of his back foot, right? Which sometimes make people come and say and pretend like he doesn't have the power. But there's a reason why he's called a hitman, right? But because Keith Thurman is willing to fight off his back foot because he knows he has that ability, some people will underestimate it. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, they'll never fight off their back foot. They will at certain points, but majority of the time, they're like, we don't need to do that. But I think Keith Thurman sees himself a little bit more in Terence Crawford than Errol Spence, simply because of the athleticism, the footwork, as well as the counterpunching.
One time came out unpunished, okay? Sometimes, and I told myself in that fight, if I want to win the fight, it's not about hitting him hard. It's about hitting him with the pity patch. In and out. Making sure that I'm the busier man, so that when it goes to the scorecards, the judges lock in my numbers. They lock in the points. I think if Crawford, they both have potential to hurt each other. They can drop each other. They can finish each other. But if that never manifests, and that opportunity never really comes through, who's going to win? The busier fighter. The busier fighter, not just the busier fighter, but the one who landed just a few. Sometimes it just takes a few crisp punches. When I look back at the Pacquiao fight, I say, you know what? He just threw the right punch at the right time.
You won that fight, Keith. Don't worry, you got robbed.
And that, it was a split decision. Even with the knockdown, that let him bam.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there because I'm gonna end up listening to all that. And then that's 6 minutes into it. I said we're not gonna listen to the whole 11 minutes. By the way, Danny Drew said MGM Grand and lost wages, got Crawford still favored -150, Spence +125. I'm gonna be very interested to see how the actual odds are gonna end up being right before the fight. I think it's gonna get a lot closer than what it is. I think it's gonna be almost even. I think Las Vegas is doing a number right now because they think it's smart for a lot of people to bet on Crawford. I think when the actual fight 2-3 hours before, I think it's going to change and it's going to be very, very close where it's going to be possible. It may look as if Crawford is the underdog. So, all right, we're going to go to the, while I'm doing my little bathroom break, we're going to go to the Keith Thurman reaction right after the weigh-ins. We're going to listen to that. And then once we're done listening to that, let's go into the actual weigh-ins, react to the actual weigh-ins. We'll end the stream with that. Much love to everybody that's came through, had a good time. Hey, this ain't going to be nothing. My bad, y'all. But this ain't going to be nothing. Like tomorrow, Fluence Lounge is going to be so much more litty. So make sure y'all join me for Fluence Lounge tomorrow. But yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and get into Keith Thurman's reaction straight after the weigh-ins. Let's see what that type of time is on. Y'all know we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna actually react to the actual weigh-ins, and then once we're done with the actual weigh-ins, let's try and figure out why. I see videos of Charlo supposedly being punched, slapped, or whatever the case may be, by Caleb Plant's team. All right. So we got a 2-minute, 34-second reaction video from Keith Thurman after the weigh-ins of Errol Spence versus Errol Spence and Terence Crawford's weigh-ins. Let's go.
Keith, what you think?
I'm gonna rewind that. We're finna get in that. Hold on, let me get a little get it out. By the way, y'all subscribe to the channel. I don't know why. Y'all ain't like the video. I don't know why. You ain't commenting in this. I don't know why. Do it all. All right, let's go.
Take it away, man.
Turn it over. Let's start from the beginning.
What you think of the weigh-in, man?
Keith Thurman hasn't fought since February 2022, and I had to stop before I allow Keith. We play this video because I'm a Keith Thurman fanboy, so I'm gonna be very upset. Keith Thurman hasn't fought since February 2022. In activity, he's 34. Errol Spence is 32, going on 33 now. I think he might be 33 now, so he's a year younger than Keith Thurman. Terence Crawford is 35. Terence Crawford is the most active out of the two. Errol Spence himself hasn't fought in 18 months, so that's a year and 6 months. So if you think about what a year and 6 months is, let me see. He's fought. Last time he's fought, we're in July. So he fought early 2022. That was the last time that Errol Spence fought. So if I'm going to say inactivity is really a problem and something we should be talking about, then we should be talking about Errol Spence in the same sense. Because we're only talking about a year apart when it comes to Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. Terence Crawford is a year older than Keith Thurman. So let's not go there. Let's not go there. Listen to this reaction.
Think of the weigh-in, man.
Undisputed champion. They living the dream that I want to live, baby. I want a piece of the pie. Can I be in the white corner? There's a red corner and the blue. Can I be in the white corner? Can we do a three-way fight? Tell me how. But, you know, everyone's going to be looking for that big shot. They want to impress their fans, man. But sometimes you just got to stand up. Stick and move. You know, I mean, and Spence, man, he's got to be that dog walking down. Be sharp with it. Hit some body shots like he always has. You know? I want contract. I want checks. My bank account is thirsty, baby.
I love Keith, man. I love Keith, man.
We love you, but you ain't beat Bud. One time.
What is the final pick, bro?
All these guys.
Man, Keith Thurman is a legend, bro.
People forgot how popular you are, huh? They forgot how popular you are. I'm the real of the real. You already know I know. But look at that.
Hey, man, he's still the man. I don't care what nobody says. I'm like, that is the next mega fight, man. We can get Errol. If we can get the loser or the winner, I love you. Say it like, come on, man. Don't keep doing this to Keith. Give Keith this fight. And I ain't finna make this stream about it, man. But I love how he was like, man, this appreciate greatness. So if I'm gonna break down all the analysts' reactions to the weigh-ins, etc., I definitely gotta go number one and stay in Calvin Ford. That was the first person I watched, and it doesn't mean it's because it was the first person I watched, but if I were to put money down on how the fight was gonna go, I put money down in the sense of what he predicted, which he basically said he feels like someone's gonna get dropped, but he feels like he's gonna go 12 rounds. So Calvin Ford, he's definitely number one. Number two, I'm going Keith Thurman just because, you know what I'm saying, one, I'm a little bit of a Keith Thurman fanboy. Okay, not a little bit. I'm a lot of a Keith Thurman fanboy, but I really like how he broke it down. And I also like how he was after the weigh-ins. I just think Keith Thurman, man, I like give him his respect, man. I think that's a big fight. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, that's a big fight. either way it go. Third, I got Roy Jones Jr. I really liked how he broke it down when he was just basically saying, you know what I'm saying, whoever capitalizes the most, you know, within their comfortability, within their skill set, they're gonna win. I would disagree with Roy Jones in the sense I think it's actually the opposite. I think whoever can take advantage of the opponent's strength in the sense of they'll be able to dominate when their opponent should be the one dominating during that time. That's when they're going to win. But I just love the passion, everything. So number 3, Roy. 4, Stephen A. Smith, and then everybody else comes after. I really don't care. Andre Durrell, uh, 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 Adrian Broner, Badou Jack. All that shit was trash. I'm kind of mad I even watched it. But either way it goes, man. That's how I have everything set up. Okay, so we watched all the reaction videos, listened to everything, all them good stuff, the interviews, all that. I've had nothing but fun tonight. I'm not even going to cap to you. Keith Thurman is not ranked in the top 15 in any organization, IBF, WBA, WBC, or WO as of now. Danny, I hope you are OG boxing fan, because if you're not, for you to even say something like that, who cares? Because Keith Thurman's resume and who he is and what he's done for the sport speaks for itself. So I'm like, I don't understand why people talk bad about Keith Thurman. It's absolutely crazy. He's only lost to Manny Pacquiao, and even that loss is really suspect. But he's beaten some of your favorite fighters. Favorite fighters. So I don't understand the disrespect for Keith Thurman. All I can say is, if you have disrespect for Keith Thurman, you must be too young to actually have watched what he did, because PBC and the welterweight division, he carried it after Floyd. That's just facts. And if you don't know nothing about that, I'm not finna have a conversation with you, because you're just telling me you're just too young to know, or you just didn't care. So I say that respectfully. So let's get into the actual weigh-ins. I have not seen the weigh-ins myself personally, so I want to see the weigh-ins. I want to see what type of shape these boys have came in. I want to see what type of respect they coming with. And then after we do the weigh-ins, we're gonna try and figure out who slapped Jermell Charlo or punch, whatever it is. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go with the 2 minute and 19. I think that makes the most sense. You feel me?
Great champion of the world, Terence Crawford.
Is it crazy? This might be the biggest pause in the world. Like, we need Cameron and Macy on sometime. But when I see a nigga pause, because I don't ever see this, but this for this purpose. When niggas is weighing in and they got like, they're not wearing boxer briefs, like they got the boxers, like the cubicle joints, you feel me? Like the squares on the joints, you know what I'm saying? The space, the buttons and all that stuff. I'm like, man, these some raw niggas, because I don't know too many niggas still wearing boxers, like boxers, you feel me? Like, that's, you gotta be careful of niggas like that. Like, they not wearing the briefs, like they wearing the boxers. Like, that's wild. I know this is a whole pause thing I'm saying, but I'm just like, when I see Terence in them joints, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a problem. Pause. Again.
Crawford weighs in at 146 and 3/4 pounds. 146 and 3/4. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with a record of 28 wins, no losses, with 22 knockouts in his 8th consecutive world title appearance, here is the undefeated, unified welterweight champion of the world, the Truth, Errol Jr. Errol Spence weighs in at 147 pounds. 147 pounds. We have a fight to the main event of the evening for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world.
I tried to copy that now. Turn that down.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's amazing that the game brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions. 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world.
Yeah, Errol Spence definitely looks like the bigger fighter. Errol Spence is like the bigger fighter. Man, I can't believe this shit happening, man. I can't wait, man. We finna be up, man. Tomorrow, Fluent Sound's gonna be crazy, man. Make sure y'all join me, man. Oh God. All right, so let's check out the interviews after the weigh-ins. Before we get into what's going on with Jermell, but tomorrow's finna be lit, man. I can't wait. I'm not even looking at you.
By the WBC, the IBF, the WBA welterweight champ, the one and only Errol Spence Jr. What about this scene up here? What do you make of all this? Has this exceeded your expectation?
Definitely, man. It's beautiful to have people come out and supporting us, man. It's huge, and that's how we put on a big show for Saturday night.
What did you say to Terence up there?
He just made me making this shit happen.
You made it happen.
Of course I made it. Gave more money. See, we did the coin toss and all that. Like, my name on the front of it. It's Spence Crawford. Name Crawford Spence. I got to do a top. I got to do a coin toss.
I don't know. I don't make those calls. Do you think this is a more pro-Crawford crowd or pro-Spence crowd?
You let them decide.
What is it, pro-Crawford or pro-Spence? I don't know. I think it's 50-50 like the fight. How do you win tomorrow night? What do you have to do to give him his first loss? Can't wait for it. Show some love to Errol Spence Jr., everyone. It's going down tomorrow night.
It's very interesting to me, man. If I were to take anything from this, is like so many people used to say that Crawford did not have a following. So many people would say that Crawford did not have, the popularity, people interested in him, all these different things. It's like at that press conference, it's like Crawford's fans showed out, or his people, his family, whatever the case, they showed out because it sounds 50-50 like a mug. Las Vegas is a long way from Texas, but it's even longer from Nebraska. So I'm like, I don't know, man. It's interesting. So I like the words coming from Errol Spence right there. Let's see what the final words from Terence Crawford is, man. I'm hyped, man. I feel like it's gonna be nothing but a good time. Actually, I think that's yeah. All right, we got ready for the Terence Crawford. Salute to everybody. Double salute, by the way, who came in tonight. I really appreciate you. Make sure while y'all was in here, man, please hit the like button, all that good stuff. You already know what it is. We're gonna go ahead and listen to what Terence Crawford had to say for the end of the weigh-ins, and then obviously we're gonna figure out what's going on with the whole Jermell the Jermall Charlo situation. And then we're gonna go ahead and sign out for the night, and we're gonna be back tomorrow. Most likely, we're gonna be looking at a very long stream tomorrow, probably like a four-hour stream. So I really hope anyone who hasn't been part of Fluence Lounge ever, you guys join me, because it's gonna be a very good time. We're gonna be lit. We're gonna be having fun. We're gonna be doing it up. So, excuse me. So. You heard me burping stuff. I'm like shit. Tonight could have been a Fluence Lounge. Y'all don't know, man. I've been enjoying myself. I've been having a lot of fun being on live. I've been having a lot of fun watching all these different clips and stuff like that. Hopefully y'all been feeling the same way. So I appreciate everybody up out there. It's been nothing but a good time. Dan Drew said, I respect Keith Thurman abilities. He just ain't active and don't have a belt to sit back on and wait like Spence has and has the belts. Well, look, as much as you're right, you're also wrong, because Keith Thurman was in the same position as Spence as well. So, you know, that's a little bit of a bias, but I'm probably being biased too because how much I love Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was Spence before Spence was Spence. You know what I'm saying? He fought and beat guys that Spence fought and beat. That you guys give him a lot of credit for. It's just Keith Thurman, you know, experienced injuries. So obviously, you're saying, hey, he's not as active, so we can't give him as much respect because he doesn't have a belt in his hand. But that's just not fair play. It's definitely not, because if there's something about Keith Thurman I could say that's different from Errol Spence is he's had real injuries. His injuries came from fighting and being active. Errol Spence injuries came from being and look, I'm drinking right now, but his injuries came from being drunk and running from ops, allegedly. Let me keep it there. Okay. What does Terence Crawford have to say after his weigh-in? Because I don't want to get into it. Well, I do want to get into that, but I don't want to get into the shit I just talked about.
Terence Crawford, Terence, what did you say to Errol up there? Make history. You know what I mean? Better man don't win for him. What about this scene? Can we talk about this first? I feel like we're in Omaha right now with the pop that you got. Can we talk about this crowd? Can we talk about this scene? How great.
That's interesting. So that's why there was a lot of booing for Errol Spence, and I thought the booing was for Ariel Helwani because we all know Ariel Helwani is more of an MMA guy, right? And that's just the weigh-ins, right? It's going to be totally different when it comes to the crowd at the actual stadium, but at the weigh-ins, it almost looked like there was more people who showed up for Terence than showed up for Errol. And I'm not saying that means Terence Crawford has more of a fan base than Errol, but what does a lot of people say? Like, let's look at it in the music aspect. And guy like Money Man, Rallo Rodriguez, well, not even Rallo Rodriguez, but like guy like Money Man isn't signed to a major label, but his fans gonna show up and show out every time because we fuck with him that much. Little Baby, he's canceling shows, right? But Little Baby is known across globally more so than Money Man, right? It's one of those situations where it's like when you homegrown and you really dedicate yourself and really show yourself like I'm for the people, it don't matter where you go, they gonna show up. For someone like Errol Spence, where I see like a Little Baby, where it's like, well, damn, he was kind of manufactured. And I'm not saying skill level or nothing like that, but that machine and PBC. And I could be capping, I could be extra, and none of that should mean anything. And that's probably very well the case. But me just seeing this, I'm like, man, people is rocking with Terence Crawford at this weigh-in. I'm interested to see how it's going to sound when the actual fight happens.
You also became the first male boxer to be undisputed champion in 2 different weight classes. How much does that mean to you, being the first to do that? Become undisputed in 2 weight classes, weight divisions. This would be great. You know what I mean? I think how much to the man that got me here. That's a challenge. What things do you win on Saturday? Just being myself. Good luck to you, Terence. All the best. Show some love to Terence Crawford, everyone.
I love it. I see comments talking about, man, I got to see the fight by myself. I'm finna do what I think about. I'm about to go in these comments. I'm gonna be hitting niggas with this shit. I'm gonna be like, hey man, check out Bones Boxing. You don't gotta watch it by yourself. You can watch it with us. But all right. They just put up 20 minutes ago. Andre Ward, Spence vs. Crawford breakdown. It's 11 minutes and 44 seconds. I wasn't expecting to watch this, but let's see what's going on. Let's watch about 5 minutes of this. Then we're gonna see what's going on.
We're gonna beat the traffic.
Let's go ahead and see what's going on with the Jermell Charlo situation. Go ahead and get the fuck up out of here. Y'all can enjoy the rest of y'all Friday. If y'all some freaky shit, y'all going crazy. Got fits coming through. Y'all just feeling great. Y'all go ahead and do that. I know what it's like. I don't know, man. There's a reason why I haven't been on my YouTube. My Friday nights have been wild. And my Friday night been in a minute. Is that a good thing? I don't know.
I'm out here looking like an OG trying to get my thing set up. Choose, you may say, man, I like both guys. Where you at? Where you at? I may bring on some of the young champs too. I see a Della. I see you, my boy. May bring you on to get your opinion, see what you think about the fight. Any other young fighters on here, I may let y'all jump on too. Where y'all at though? Who y'all rocking with? Spence, Bud, you like both of them? You can't choose? Who is it? I already know where you at with it, Jared. Come on, where y'all at? Oh, I'm seeing a whole lot of big fit. Ooh. Okay, I see some Bud now. I see you, Kyle. I see you.
Only like 5 minutes of this.
I think it's even. I think it's split, really. To be real with you, I think it's split. I see a lot of people in the streets over the last couple of years. It's back and forth. It's 50-50 from what I see. It's a lot of love for both guys, respect for both guys, but I don't get the sense that any one fighter is the fan favorite. Both fan bases are rocking with them heavy. And really, this matchup right here puts a lot of fighters in a bad position because they both likable guys. A lot of fighters like myself, you came up with them. I'm a little bit older than them, but I rock with both of them. And it puts you in a bad situation in a bad spot. But from a fan standpoint, it seems like it's down the middle to me. What y'all think? So, first of all, on the eve of this fight, we got to stop for a second. And we got to give respect to these fighters, and we got to shout them out because
it's a fact.
It was a lot of bad things said about these fighters, these two men, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford.
I've been saying that, bro.
Fight wasn't getting made as fast as we wanted it to.
I've been saying that. Like, come on, man.
A lot of people frustrated.
Just say BlakGooseTV. This is what I've been advocating. That's why I be like, man, that's why sometimes I got to take a hiatus because it's like I be really, and I'm not trying to boost myself, but I be talking about shit none of these other channels be talking about. Like, a lot of these other channels be so debate-wise. They favorite fighter and this nigga's this much better, and like niggas be quick because I'm like, I understand like that's the quickest way to get recognition from a camp and maybe get some money or a sponsorship. But like I'm that nigga that I've been saying this shit that Andre Ward finna say, like I be so mutual and like in a sense down the line I give y'all the real and niggas don't want to hear that. Like that shit is crazy, bro.
Because you just want to see the fight. You know, and you don't want this to be another.
All these niggas want to see is the fight. They never want to talk about the real shit.
Fans, they don't really care.
Bunch of fuck niggas, man.
They don't really care
I don't
about
be on that shit.
The clause that may be a contract that may not be feasible.
Talk that shit, bro.
But the fighter does. So I understand, like,
whole bunch of fuck niggas in this whole entire boxing media shit.
Both fighters. Terence
I don't want nothing to do with it.
You don't know what he's
I'm a real nigga.
He's messing up his career. This one is scared of that one. Spence is scared of Crawford. Crawford is scared of Spence. I think, man, for
who was the nigga who was saying that nigga's Terence Crawford did right by going on BOK Prime and making his money against a nigga that all scared, he's a duck. Shut the fuck up. Most of you boxing fans don't know shit, bro. Most of you niggas don't know shit. Y'all just dick riders. Pause. All y'all niggas be doing is just going with the motion. Y'all want to debate on these channels that be talking about the same shit every single day. Like, there's a reason why my channel is what it is. It's because I tell the real. Niggas don't want to hear that. That's just a fucking fact. Talk your shit, Andre. We finna hear the whole thing because, nigga, this shit just got me lit on a whole nother level.
For those of us that said that, I think we got to have the same energy to say that we're wrong. Because what happens is boxing starts to be this place now where you can just say anything you want to say about a fighter. You never got to apologize. You never got to say you was wrong. And we just move on like, well, I guess they did figure it out and they did fight. We got to stop and say, hold up, I was wrong. I wanted to see the fight. I was excited about the fight. And I said this and I...
Bro, I've been saying this whole week. I'm like, it's so funny to me. I've been seeing so many niggas comment saying, oh, we should have been seeing this personality from Terence Crawford. Like, oh, If I would have known this is how Terence Crawford is, I'd have been rocked with him. I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. Y'all niggas is so fake. Y'all niggas is not real boxing fans. Y'all niggas is entertainers. You watching boxing after you watch WWE. Fuck out of here. That's why I don't do these debate channels and stuff like that, because y'all niggas rock with a one boxer so hard. Y'all be on some weird shit. Like the same niggas talking about, oh, this, and that. But you ain't never in your life ran a 5.5 mile run. So you don't got no work ethic when it comes to your name. But you can definitely tell a nigga who all he does in his life is have work ethic and have discipline. You gonna try and say how they should live their life. Like, fuck out of here, weird ass niggas. Like, you weird.
I shouldn't have said it. I said this about him and I wouldn't. I shouldn't have said it. Because these fighters this fight got done, and I said this on Fight Night 3-4 weeks ago. This fight got done because, yes, you need the suits. Yes, you need the network. Steven Espinoza, the managers, the advisors, all the people. Like, this fight doesn't get done without them, but this fight really got done because both of these fighters picked up the phone. I'm not going to get into who picked up the phone first and all of that.
Don't matter.
But they picked up the phone and they had a conversation.
Well, we know who picked up the phone. Terence Crawford been trying to get in contact with Errol Spence to make sure this shit happened. That's not cap. That's been public information. He made that public. That don't matter for the outcome or who's gonna win. But you weird niggas don't be weird. That's like being like, hey, yo, water, don't be wet. That's not gonna happen.
And they got a mega fight on their hands. And this got done because two fighters got on the phone and said, bro, I'm willing to take this. You got to bend over here and give this percentage, or you got to give on this, but I'll give you that. That's, man, we got to shout them out, y'all, for their business acumen before we start talking about the fight, because
facts.
That's not talked about enough. Fighters are looked at like they're stupid. Fighters just shut up and go fight. Shut up. We don't want to hear about the business. Just, hey, man, you make enough money. Get in there and fight. And we got to stop for a second. We got to pause, and we got to pay homage to Errol Spence and Terence Crawford for putting their business hat on and their pride, putting their pride to the side and saying, okay, I'm going to give you this percentage on this, but in the rematch, I got to get that. You got to stop for a second. And for the young fighters out there, man, reach out to these dudes. Ask questions. How did y'all get it done? What did y'all do? How did you fix?
But they're not going to do that because at the end of the day, boxing is still what it is. Boxing is still driven by promotional companies, larger entities. I'm like, there's a reason why this shit is happening. And this is one of the reasons why I said, okay, can you be as hyped about this as you can? This happened a little, like, I could make the argument this has happened too little too late, in a sense of, yeah, they still in the time frame of their physical attributes where they can utilize the most out of what they're able to do, training, etc. But if this would have happened 2 to 3 years ago, it would have had a lot more understanding, and the rematch would have made a lot more sense because they're not at the tail end of their career. There's a reason why Errol Smith is saying, well, I can't make 147 no more. I got to go up to 154. There's a reason why Terence Crawford is saying the shit that he's saying. I'm not saying that they're dumb, but I'm just saying they both understand that they're older.
Figure out these tough points because we gotta step this thing up, y'all. Like we gotta step this business acumen, meaning like our knowledge of business and how it works. We gotta step this stuff up. We gotta step it up because there's a lot of money out there to be made, and we gotta make sure that we don't just say stuff like, I'm putting my life on the line, right? You gotta really stop and think about
Absolutely.
what that means. Like in a sparring session as a fighter, you putting your life on the line. You get hit with.
So, I might be fanboying too, because like it's funny, like today I've kind of reacted and fanboyed to all my favorite fighters, because like my Mount Rushmore in fighting, like Andre Ward is definitely number 1. Number 2 is most likely AB, and number 3 is probably Keith Thurman. So it's like I'm probably mad biased with everything I'm hearing and listening to. And I'm telling y'all this so y'all can kind of just be like, okay, this is where it's all coming from, but you can't tell me the shit I've been hearing and seeing ain't real.
One shot, get a brain bleed, and you can have a situation. Now your life has changed forever. So knowing that you put that kind of risk, putting yourself at that kind of risk, even in sparring and especially a big fight, you got to know that you're the business. Nobody makes money until you fight. Now, I understand early in your career there's an investment. I understand that. But we got to step our game up, and we are stepping our game up. And this fight tomorrow night is a good example of fighters who did that and who's doing that. And even the behind the scenes stuff about how Terence Crawford and Errol Spence handled the sanctioning bodies. I love it. Y'all can't get 3% on every belt just because that's your rules. Tell me where that makes sense, because we could do this fight without y'all. And y'all know how I feel about the sanctioning bodies, and they handled their business. So let's just stop for a second and give Team Spence and Team Crawford credit, but it's a mega event we getting ready to enjoy tomorrow night. And it's a lot of money that's getting ready to be made, and it happened because of these two businessmen first. They were business-minded first. Then they said, let's do the other work, which we getting ready to see, tomorrow night. So the fight is here. Man, I'm excited.
Let's see the predictions now. Give me the predictions, Ward.
Man,
Son of God.
I ain't fighting, but I'm nervous. I'm nervous because
what you got to say? You feel me?
Man, like this one of them fights, man. You got love.
Let me know. Guys. Be 110.
One and the other. But
110. I definitely
like, this is gonna be. I think we got 2 fights out of this for sure. And if it's a split, one, I think we get 3 out of this.
3 fights in one is crazy.
I personally don't see either fighter at this stage in their career fighting a lot longer than what they fighting.
I love it. That's what I've been saying. I'm saying as much as we can love this fight, let's not act like this fight is not happening. Like, let's stop being extra and saying this fight's happening when it's supposed to happen. It should have happened 2 to 3 years ago. We got a rematch involved. That's gonna happen, but like nigga, this too little. This ain't no heavyweight. This ain't Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, where you a bigger opponent and heavyweights. Their shelf life is like, nah, nigga. This is not the prime of both fighters. Go ahead though.
After this after this trilogy, because
stop being extra, y'all.
You fight a fight of this magnitude. It's a different level of focus. It's a different level of lock in, and it drains you. And then you got to go actually call it back up.
Talk about it.
And go
SOG.
Fight. Then you sit around after you just spent 2-3 months.
You done
fought a tough fight, and you like, man, I gotta go do it again. Your body you start having different thoughts. I don't see them going. What the winner of this 2 fights or 3 fights, depending on how long ago, what they gonna do? Go to 154 and campaign and start all over?
No, they're not gonna do that. I've been saying that.
They might. That's gonna be hard. That's hard for me.
I've been saying that. No, the fuck they not, because I'm like, if Jermell Charlo fights Canelo and he loses his belts, who is the first person in line to be the next great king? It's Tim Tszyu. Now these niggas moving up. I know money makes fights, popularity makes foot, but no one is passing up Tim Tszyu right now. Tim Tszyu is the next nigga in line. Let's not cap.
Me to see. I think
boxing will forever be boxing.
But if he's successful and wins 2 fights or a trilogy, I can see him doing a farewell in Omaha, Nebraska. I can see Errol Spence doing something. It's hard for me to see. I could be wrong, but it's hard for me to see either fighter after they're done with this business that they got in hand. After 2 or 3 fights, like going on a campaign at 54, or maybe Bud staying at 47 and trying to campaign at 47. I just can't see with the money they're gonna make, the stage that they at in their careers.
Ain't that money. Might not gonna make it work.
Motivation to start over, and then you got young dudes like Boots Ennis, who he coming
47.
And
so I'm gonna stop it right there. There's only about like 2 minutes left of the Andre Ward live. I wasn't even supposed to even go into that, but I just didn't pop up last minute while I was here. So let's go ahead and finish. Like I said, Jermell Charlo supposedly he got chased. He chased after Caleb Plant after getting punched. I don't know if he got punched or slapped by Caleb Plant, but let's go ahead, go into the reaction video of that, react to that, and let's go ahead and end this live because I don't want this to be too long. So. Let's see what the fuck happened. Because I'm like, that's random as fuck. Are they trying to make a Caleb Plant versus Jermell Charlo fight? Are they trying to make Jermell Charlo return against Caleb Plant? That's not a good look for Jermell Charlo at all. That's a very tough fight. So let's see what happens. All right, I'm gonna turn it up. Let's go find I think. Okay, so that's later into it. So apparently he already got. So yeah, I was saying he got punched, but I was like maybe he got slapped. I was just being sarcastic. But in the comments, they're saying he didn't punch Charlo, he slapped him, which is worse. So everyone's saying he slapped Charlo. So Jermell Charlo got slapped by Caleb Plant, is what they're saying. So I got to see. I'm like, you got footage of that? I'm trying to see this nigga get slapped. Corny ass. I'll tell you this right now. Jermell Charlo would never allow no nigga to slap him. Let me see it. Jermell would never allow himself to be slapped by nobody. So Jermell, you got slapped? It's sad what's happening with Jermell. And I'm like, it has nothing to do with his boxing ability, but he has a lot of like outside things going on. That boy must have got slapped into oblivion. So yeah, this footage isn't showing that, but they're saying Jermell got slapped by Caleb Plant. Let's see if I can find that footage, because I want to see it. It doesn't surprise me, because Jermell Charlo, he a warrior, but he's soft as pudding. Oh, Jermell Charlo did get slapped by Caleb Plant. Oh, I just watched it. Oh my God. Oh, he slapped the shit out of him. He slapped the dog shit out of this nigga. Y'all want to see this shit? Watch. Slapped the dog shit out of Jermell Charlo, bro. Jermell would never. Jermell would never allow this shit. And the Jermell like, yo, what's going on? Damn, he lost everything. Like, oh no. And Jermell is trying to be cool about it. Jermell would have destroyed him. He slaps the shit out of this nigga Jermell. He slaps the shit out of Jermell. Oh my God. Jermell took it like a champ, like he didn't feel no type of way, but he got slapped, girl. Oh my God. The fact that Jermell didn't feel no type, like, that's the difference between him and Jermell. If Jermell would have got slapped like that, Jermell would have probably been in jail, nigga. That he slapped the dog shit out of Jermell. He slapped the dog shit out of Jermell. If he would have touched Jermell like that, Jermell would have took his soul. And any niggas trying to hold him back. Look, y'all. Tonight's been a great live. I've enjoyed it. I've had a whole month. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while since I went live during Friday. Usually I'll be out and about doing my thing. Have a lot of fun, but this has been a very good time. Tomorrow we're gonna go Fluence Lounge. We're gonna go live for the UFC card. We're gonna go live for the I can't even remember the fight we finna watch tomorrow because I'm like, damn, Jermell, why you let this nigga Caleb Plant slap the shit out you? Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. We're gonna live for that fight. It's gonna be a good time. Make sure y'all join me for it. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. We live all week. We've been live all week, man. God, Jamal, like, goddamn, nigga, why you let this nigga slap you like that? But much love. I'm out of here for now. I'll be back tomorrow. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoying y'all Friday night. If you can fuck a bitch, go fuck a bitch, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared. And don't be on no Jamal type time because you're going to lose your bitch if you on that type of time. I'm out. Much love to people. You already know what it is. Ayo, Legacy, Chain glistening. Much love to people. I'm out.